Could a strange substance found by a southwest Arkansas man be part of a government test? Well, tonight, KSLA News 12 investigation reporter Jeff Farrell shows us the results of testing we had done about what's in our skies.
It seemed like some mornings it was just crisscrossing the whole sky. It was just like a giant checkerboard.
KSLA News 12 had the sample tested at a lab. The results? A high level of barium, 6.8 parts per million, more than 3 times the toxic level set by the EPA. Armed with these lab results about the high levels of barium found in our sample, we decided to contact the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality. They told us that yes, these levels are very unusual. Barium is a hallmark of other chemtrail testing, which even attracted attention from a Los Angeles TV station. There's already no shortage of unclassified weather modification programs by the government. But those who fear chemtrails could be secret biological or chemical testing on the public point to the 1977 Senate hearings in particular, which confirmed 239 populated areas had been contaminated with biological agents between 1949 and 1969. Later, the 1994 Rockefeller Report concluded hundreds of thousands of military personnel were also subjected to secret biological experiments.
Get involved in your community. There are still forms of direct democracy, believe it or not, available to states.
Teddy Roosevelt said, "I believe in the initiative and referendum, which should be used not to destroy representative government, but to correct it whenever it becomes misrepresentative." In 1787, George Washington said, "People can decide with as much propriety on the alterations and amendments to the Constitution, which shall be found necessary. The basis of our political systems is the right of the people to make and alter their constitutions of government. And with the initiative and referendum process, there is no need for future constitutional conventions." In 1816, Thomas Jefferson said, quote, "I am not an advocate for frequent changes in laws and constitutions, but laws and institutions must go hand in hand with the progress of the human mind. As that becomes more developed, more enlightened, as new discoveries are made, new truths discovered, and manners and opinions change, with the change of circumstances, institutions must advance, also to keep pace with the times. I know no safe repository of the ultimate powers of society but the people. Every government degenerates when trusted to the rulers of the people alone. The people themselves are the only safe depositories. Unless the mass retains sufficient control over those entrusted with the powers of their government, these will be perverted to their own oppression." In the Federalist Papers, number 49, James Madison said, quote, "As the people are the only legitimate fountain of power, and it is from them that the constitutional charter, under which the several branches of government hold their power, is derived. It seems strictly consonant to the Republican theory to recur to the same original authority, whether it may be necessary to enlarge, diminish, or new model the powers of government."
The American people are qualified to vote on every single policy issue that affects their lives.
Revolution has begun. They're going to do everything they can in Gestapo USA to keep pushing us down so we don't rise up. The human spirit is rising.
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
Thanks. Would you please sign my petition? Hi there, would you like to sign my petition? You're under arrest. Would you please sign my petition?
Stop or I'll shoot! Suspect sighted. Freeze! Stop or I'll shoot!
This afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. But before we get into it, since this is the year of the ballot or the bullet,
you and I have to look at this and understand this, that the ballot is as powerful as the bullet.
When people understand their enlightened self-interest, they will vote on it. And so the process is there, but we need 60 million Americans to vote to empower themselves, and when they have this power, they will be able to make the changes. It's bringing the American people into the operation of government as lawmakers. They become the fourth check in our systems of checks and balances. It's a win-win. The people, the existing representatives, they'll be able to do a better job in the day-to-day operation of government because the vexatious issues will have been removed, and the people will make the decision on those issues. War and peace, women's rights, health care, taxation, all of these issues, the people can make those decisions and make the right decisions, and all we need is to bring that about. What am I talking about? I am talking about changing the paradigm of human governance. There is no greater task. We do it in the United States. It will go around the world like wildfire, and you'll see the world change. What we need in our society is to understand there's enough on this planet for everybody. Right now, we are led by greed, selfishness, and violence. We need to change that. We need to have the people understand that they can change it, and that we need to be led by love, understanding, courage in the people so they can implement the balance of the virtues that they have.
Let the people vote. Let the people vote. Every major issue, war, bailouts, immigration. Let the people vote.
They're criminals, and they're trying to break our will and train us that we are their prisoners. So what do we do about it, Gerald, and where is it going?
My only solution, and I keep talking about it, is direct democracy. Because any adult thinking that, oh, we're going to give Congress a list of our demands. Oh, yeah, and the Bananos or the Gambinos are going to become nice overnight and listen to you. No, we have to vote. If we could vote for politicians, we can vote for issues.
Legislation has been drafted that can be altered for any city, county, or state in the nation. It could also be used around the globe that would ban chemtrails, protecting the air and water from aluminum oxide, barium, and other pollutants caused by these aerial sprays. As you can see, the legislation simply has to be drafted in a way that can be accepted legally as an amendment to the Constitution or as a statute. The chemtrail agenda is guised as a way to end global warming. And it is, in fact, disclosed by government agencies that they use toxic chemicals in our skies, and they know it is killing the planet.
The lethality of their power is greater than ever. Their capacity to impose control over the politically awakened masses of the world is at a historical low. In earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people, literally. It was easier to control 1 million people than physically to kill 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people.
Are you going to sign this, or will it be your surviving family members?
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
You want to take us to war? You want to end the war? You want to keep the war on drugs going? You want to keep reinstituting the Patriot Act? Let the people vote. That, to me, is the only solution.
Well, there's no doubt that our republic is broken.
In conclusion, the idea is that you and I, and everybody concerned with problems in government, unite our ability to network and organize friends, family, neighbors, and our online community. We join the international groups, the national groups, and the local groups seeking to empower our ballot access abilities. And we work together to achieve the goals. We certainly could use funding to provide the outreach necessary to create solutions. However, the real solution comes from true grassroots organization, which means no matter how much money you throw at the solution, we're not actually going to create a long-term solution and strategy without your participation. It takes your ability to circulate petitions and your signature to sign petitions for the ballot. Money does not solve the problems. Your actions solve the problems. You can learn from activismtruth.com. You can learn from myself, a veteran door-to-door fundraiser and professional petition circulator. I was one of the best fundraisers door-to-door when I worked in the door-to-door fundraising industry for lobbying campaigns. And I absolutely was one of the top signature collectors in the United States. And I have the ability to show you how you can play a role in the networking and organizing we need to have a true grassroots citizenry. We need a citizenry with a critical mass, the equivalent of about 1% of the voters, who will simply collect a few signatures in their spare time. And this will give us the ability to qualify initiatives, referendum, recalls, nominations, and even citizen grand juries for the ballot almost effortlessly. So join the promotion. So join the solution. Be a part of making history. Learn new skills that you can use to help people better understand how they can also play a role themselves. I will provide a systematic training program that will teach you what you need to know to organize and do the outreach, creating community around solutions. When we have long-term support for the solutions and the understanding of permanent ballot access, we can begin organizing people for that goal. When we achieve that goal, nothing can stop the people from creating true, everlasting change to stop all corruption in government.